Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Yes, it's me. And we will talk about what's happening to the market. Yeah, you will see a lot of different indicators here. And yeah, I'm using them all. Look how much they are selling and the price is not declining because they are really maintaining the price with passive orders. That's what they are doing. Algorithm using passive orders just to maintain the price. That's what these guys are doing, while at the same time triggering one sell order after the next one. Also the same with futures. A lot of shorts triggered, and yes, of course, we are getting more shorts, but I don't think all of them are from retailers. However, as long DXY is doing what it's doing, and you can see here the pattern, nothing will change because DXY at the moment declining as it is. It's declining since here, and it's the same how to say, it's the same point, the same time where SPY started to lift up. So I'm still waiting to see a bounce on DXY, but at the moment not happening. I thought 103 is looking very solid. Nothing happened. They even let it dump even more, and that's something. I mean, I don't care about the US dollar, to be honest. I'm European, so I'm happy if I can see that the euro is increasing, because it makes, of course, it can have a good effect to our inflation rate. But for the US, that's not good at all, because of course, part of their raw materials they are buying, it's abroad, so they need to import them, and they are not always paying in US dollar. So it's not that easy for the Fed, and I was noticing some really bearish comments by Fed officials. I think they are really pissed because the markets are still reacting, and they didn't expect that. And that's why I retweeted that message by the Fed, just saying, go make some rallies, but the pain is going to be even bigger afterwards. And yeah, I agree with that, because nothing has changed, absolutely nothing. Only the markets are doing what they are doing. I have talked today with George about SPY, and he told to me, it's just insane what they are doing. They are placing calls, 1 day expiry calls, and masses of them, masses. He told me he did just 400% in 1 day. I mean, that's insane. That's gambling. That's casino. That's exactly what it is. It's casino. And we are talking about SPY. We are not talking about a shit coin, not even about Bitcoin. That's SPY. That's so insane. And that's what they are doing. They are forcing the market maker to push up the price. That's what these guys are doing. But even this option is limited. And when it flipped, it will be absolutely pain. But nobody is talking about. And maybe they don't know that. GAGs, it's up, even on Bitcoin. We will check that later on. So we will see how far they want to go. You remember how many times I said, gamma wall 75, gamma wall 75. We have two very solid gamma walls. It's 75 and 15. Put walls at 15, call walls at 17.5. Now we had a breakout. It seems the Bitcoin price is going to hit hitting 17.5. But what comes afterwards? Well, a lot will depend on SPY and SPX, of course, and about the expectations of CPI just next Thursday. We know the economy, at least on paper, is looking great, awesome, and it seems that some market actors think that the printer is going to come back. I wouldn't make such a bet. For me, it looks like a little bit that people, big traders, not sure if they are in disbelief, but they are pushing. I mean, if you are sure that the price is going up for a while, you would place big volume orders with a long-term or at least mid-term expiry, and that's not what they are doing. So it's just, I know tomorrow we will go up, but I don't know if the day afterwards it will. And that's usually nothing bullish. It is not. And it's casino. That's the only thing you can do. That's an opportunity to make a very quick, a good gain, a very good gain. But midterm, it doesn't look good, to be honest. Absolutely not. I don't know what to expect next Thursday related to CPI. I really don't have any clue. But I guess it's not what many expect. And it's going, once again, Thursday is going to be casino. Because if they are going to push up more and more, and that's such kind of front running, we know what they do. Last time they let the price dump, afterwards they pushed up very hard. So be careful, because many people are talking about short squeeze, while on the balances we still have more longs. Nobody is talking about that as well. However, we need to trade the market. We don't need to trade any expectations, visions, or whatever. If the price is going up and it looks solid, then let us go up in long or buy spot or whatever. But the only reason why I'm not going to jump in is because I'm absolutely not convinced of what the market is doing at the moment. I don't trade false narratives. I can't trade that because it's just increasing my risk. And I may be too old for that, but I don't like to place my money in big risk. So we will see what's going to happen. Let us check what whales are doing. Let us try to figure out what actually market actors are expecting or doing. And let us see if we can figure out and make a trade strategy with that. So let us go forward and check the whales ratio as usual. I have commented today, I don't know, I think it was to Justin, that the whales ratio is doing a new crazy thing. If we check that, that's really crazy, and that remembers me to that here. And you remember I have said last time it was a very similar case. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So, yeah, taking into account what the whales ratio is doing, and this time it looks much more aggressive than the last time. Because if we check that, here's what it bounced, and that's what happened this time. It looks much more straight up. It's just more aggressive, more indicating big whales sending more bitcoins to centralized exchanges. Even here, still 63%. That's just too much. That's just too much. But I have also said, if they want to push down the price at 17K, they need much more volume. If you check, I'm using Binance BTC USDT pair, for example. If you check the volume and you compare the volume, what we are seeing at the moment, related or compared to other rallies we had, even fake rallies, it's still nothing. It's a joke, unfortunately. Of course, SPY algo's doing its work because we know that, SPY goes up, Bitcoin follows it. At the moment, SPY is retracing, Bitcoin just going up a little bit more, indicating FOMO mode is on. However, let us check what's happening here, and we can see that we reached, if last time we reached 22,444 after its bounce and it was big, this time, and I don't know if we are done, but we did almost 27%. That's crazy. That's just crazy. I mean, that's just really crazy. Absolutely crazy if you check that. So yeah, we need to see what's going to happening next, and let us check the weights ratio 1 hour time frame, because we can see here what they are doing. You remember? Up, up, up. When up, distribute, 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 distribute. That's what they are doing. Also confirmed by the flow activity. Every time they let the price go up, so they reduce the sell pressure, price starts to go up, then it has such kind of FOMO mode, they start to jump in, and the price goes up more, and they start to sell and sell and sell and sell. And that's what they are doing. I guess as long that demand maintains intact, it will work. When the demand starts to shrink, they will, just, push the price down once again, hitting whatever it is. I mean, Gamma Walls 15K, 17.5, we will see. In my opinion, it will bounce at 75. I wasn't even expecting 75, to be honest. I thought 72, 73, like I mentioned yesterday. But yeah, let us do 17.5, that's also fine. Maybe 76 as a bull trap and then go down. It's absolutely a very realistic scenario. While we still have Gamma Walls at 15K, at least since weeks, we have noticed 17.515, 17.515, 17.515. So it would make sense. However, if we check the weights ratio 30 hours moving average, it doesn't look that bearish. Why? Because 90 is usually where we are noticing, like for example here, even if we were that successful, but it's where we are noticing a bigger sell pressure. They are not doing it. This time 85 and they start to decline. Let the price go up more. That's what they are saying. Let us go. I mean, if it works, if people are buying, let them. It's fine for us. That's what I'm seeing here related to the weights ratio. 30 hours moving average. At the same time, if we zoom out, we can see that the stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges maintains even in a lower level. So it seems people had some, or whales had some stablecoins on centralized exchanges, and at the same time algos using USD pairs. So they minted a lot of USDC today, for example. I have seen a lot. Whales alerts, and more coming in, and more coming in. Unknown to unknown, 131 million USDC. Unknown to unknown, 130. Then USDC Treasury to Coinbase, 150 millions. Everything is happening right now. Right now. They are minted like, hey, someone sent a signal indicating that's it. Let us go forward and push up more the price. As long the Fed is not going to make any interest rate decision that could be extremely bearish, or Thursday maybe, and maybe not even that, maybe they will not care. Even if the CPI is going up, they will push up more the price because it doesn't matter. I mean, the only ones that can drive the markets are those with huge volume. They don't need to follow the Fed, if we are honest. But they are doing it because usually they know that's a short-term operation. I don't know if that's going to be here the same case, but yeah, it's really difficult for me to be bullish. Some people are now talking about 100k, 60k, 50k. I really don't see that. I just want to see why Bitcoin, or well, why the markets, but in particular Bitcoin, is lifting up, while, for example, market maker entities didn't accumulate this time. You remember what I said? If we get a rally with a big accumulation, be careful with that. But we will see. I'm really absolutely, chilling it, because I just have, I had $100 on my centralized exchanges on Bitget. I did $270 since then. And I'm absolutely in short. If they liquidate me, I'm fine with that. I don't care. I really don't care, but I'm not going to go in anymore. Absolutely not. Buy spot, as I did, always. But I'm not under such circumstances. I can't trade this market. Not Bitcoin. I'm talking about all markets. SPY, SPX, even DXY, as you can see. It's not only in particular crypto. Bitcoin is just following it. It's just the whole narrative, this wrong, to spread and wrong sentiment, and it's not possible. I can't trade such a market, unfortunately. I guess I could make some money if I'm just trading the market, but I prefer to invest my money in other assets then. That's the only thing. However, let us go forward and check the flow activity, because 17 minutes, Jesus, that was a long one. So, flow activity, as mentioned, they have started to send Bitcoins a lot here. We had a lot of Bitcoins also here. They accumulated here, then we had a higher sell pressure, then they start to lift up. And since while nothing happened here all the time, while they started to send more Bitcoins to centralized exchanges, then we had such kind of little pump and dump, and that's it. I mean, afterwards we started to lift up and they started to send more Bitcoins while also outflowing it, so taking out from centralized exchanges. And that's absolutely it. The only thing that looks bullish, at least here, is that we received 200 millions into spot, indicating usually they use this money to buy more Bitcoin. And it's not huge, as you can see. It's absolutely not huge, but it can bring the price even more up at 17.5, for example, as mentioned. And we need to see how the gamma walls looks like at the moment. If 17.5 is still intact, we need to see. It doesn't make any sense if we see, for example, gamma walls at 30k, 25k, because it's far away. We need always to consider those gamma walls who are relative close to the current price and with bit volume. So we need to check them as well. That's something we are going to make. So let us go forward. So let us talk about what's happening to futures related to Bitcoin. And we can see that this trend is still intact. You remember, that's the funding rate. I mean, that's a crazy thing what we can see here. We had something similar just here, for example, where we went down afterwards, then up like crazy, and then even more down. It's last time it was funding rate extremely down, then up. This time it was extremely up, then down, and the price is doing exactly that opposite. it goes up. I don't know if that means we will go down afterwards. I guess, because as you know, I'm expecting 17.5 and from there maintain there a little bit. Then we will see what's going to happen Thursday. However, even open interest right now is recovering, but we are still far away from our November level, because in November we were here. We are right now just moving up a little bit. So absolute far away from the open interest we had just before. Leverage ratio, of course, also recovering, but also not the same level we had just in November and just before last year. So nothing big to see here. If we check, for example, also the volume, stablecoin volume related to derivative exchanges and even bitcoins, you see peanuts, nothing happening. So nothing have changed. The only thing that have changed is the price. I don't see anything, really absolutely anything where I would say, oh yes, that's bullish. I can't see that. I really can't see that. The only thing is the price, and nobody knows who is driving it. So at the moment, 100 millions inflows to derivative exchanges, 110 outflows. Thank you very much for playing. Now frack off. 1,500 bitcoins inflows just close before 2,000 bitcoins inflows, outflows. The activity related to the flow activity related to derivative exchanges and bitcoins is lifting up, but still low, extremely low. So yeah, that explains why the open interest is not pushing up that much. If we take a look to the aggregated but the zoomed out version of my future charts, we can see this pump and dump and funding rate. We can see that the open interest start to lift up, then declined a little bit, the same with the leverage ratio. If we check what happened yesterday, they liquidated almost 900 bitcoins in shorts. And when people say, yeah, the whole market is so bearish, we have masses of shorts, that's a lie. That's a lie. We still have much more longs. If they would start to dump the market, mark my words, we will make 2, 3, 4,000 bitcoins liquidations and longs. Because the market is still too bullish. It's still just too bullish. But it's fine. However, I have to laugh every time when I'm reading such kind like, yeah, short squeeze, let us kick them, a lot of shorts will be liquidated, and I think, but we still have much more longs there. So why are you talking about like the market is so extremely bearish, the market is so a lot of shorts waiting to get liquidated? Yeah, of course we have a lot of shorts, but we still have a lot of longs as well, much more than shorts. But that's nothing unusual. It's just a little bit strange to see that, oh well, it's not, because at 17K the opportunity or the possibility to go up is much more higher than to go down. When you have seen a 69 all-time high, of course, in November last year. No, it's now 2 years ago. However, but you know what I mean. Hopefully, you know what you mean. So, yeah, in my opinion, that's going to happen once again, like they did in the past so many times. Push up, down, push up, down, push up, down. That's what they are doing all the crazy time since month. Now it will change because of what? Because they decided, okay, then that's solid. That's a valid argument. But to say, well, because everything, the economy, we will get a pivot and that's stupid. That's really absolutely nonsense, and that's not going to happen. If that's the whole narrative behind the current price action, it's BS. It's absolutely BS. It's not going to happen. I don't care if you trust me or not, if you are laughing now and say, oh, Inspo, you're so bearish. I really don't care. It's not going to happen because the Fed need to increase their interest rates. It has to do it because they know that the inflation is far away to be at 2%. And they know that all the inflation driver factors are not done. I mean, natural gas, 11% up today. That's crazy. And we are talking about energy. Also, nobody is talking about it. But it's fine. Only the Fed knows what will happen. But, you know, I think they are really, really frustrated that they see that equities and markets in general are ignoring them. They are absolutely ignoring them. And I mean, yeah, maybe that's part of the game, but we will see who is going to pay the bill. I don't think that JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, and so on and so forth are going to pay the bill. We all should know who is going to pay the bill. Not the big guys. Absolutely not. However, Binance. What is happening on Binance? Well, I mean, on Binance, we can see the funding rate is declining. It's declining since we went to 17K. Since here, it's declining even more while the price is going up. And open interest, leverage ratio, while the funding rate declining, indicating that they are placing more shorts, more shorts, more shorts. Well, we'll see if Blockchain Whispers is confirming it. And yes, it can confirm that. So indicating a lot of more shorts came in. They closed long, so we have now almost 1 billion in longs and 190 millions in shorts, doing a 52 to 48% long short ratio. We can see that on Bitfinex they closed a lot of shorts and they introduced some more longs, but nothing big, to be honest, absolutely not. Let us check what is happening here. That was today in the morning. And we can see that based on Binance, we have a liquidation cluster here, while the whole liquidation cluster here disappeared already. So they liquidated the longs, the shorts, and that's it. So if they want to liquidate someone, they need to go from 17K back to 16.6. And well, we will check the different exchange walls, but yeah, would make sense. However, that's what we can see at the moment. It's indicating here a price of 17,370. I need to check. Yeah, we are at 17,380. 80. So nothing else to liquidate. Otherwise, we need to go much more. Yeah, I mean, we have a liquidation cluster here between 19.2 and 19.6. Otherwise, they need to liquidate those guys here. And then we need a lot of liquidity to push up to 20,600 and more. That's what we can see at the moment. It looks absolutely, well, I check that. We still have more longs here than shorts at the moment because these bars here are bigger than these ones here. And the only one are here, low shorts, and we are talking about the price of 25K just to liquidate all of them. However, so high leverage longs waiting here to get liquidated if they want to liquidate them. That's a big question. So let us go forward. So, option trading. Let us take a look what's happening here. Well, first of all, once again, big resistance at 17.5. This time we don't see 15K. The only thing what we see is 16.5, but it's not compared to the call wall here. This is a big one. That's a small one. So resistance 75, maybe maintain there, maybe retrace a little bit, $250 to 17,250, and then we will see. In my opinion, we should maintain that level between 17,250 and 17.5 until Thursday, and then we will see what's going to happen next. The GAX is in an extreme 105,000. That's just too high. Usually, as you know, that means we should retrace like it did several times. I mean, even at 70k it retraced. Even here, for example, at 80 it retraced. We had here 87, the price retraced. Not big, but enough. So it's maintaining relatively high all the time since, yeah, and this year absolutely positive, now reaching a new extreme, indicating we will go or at least retrace. Let us check what option traders are expecting. Wow, we just have short strangle, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So the short strangle is the strategy where oh, I see that they added more futures. Interesting. Sorry, that they are expecting a very flat price move. So they are expecting, for example, if we can check that, they are expecting between until next Friday a price between 17k and 17.5. Until end of the month between 16.5 and 18.5. Also here 16.5, 18.5. Okay, that's a big one between 14 and 22, but it's until end of March. And also here 17, 17.5. Something I would agree, because it, of course, it confirms what we have seen related to the gamma wall. However, the premium USD isn't big, and so that makes it a little bit difficult to say if this really accurate. That's the biggest trade related to premium, and we can see we have called 17.5 and put 17k, indicating we should move between this range until next Friday, and that's it, unfortunately. But, well, maybe not that bad, because we spent a lot of time with other topics. So let us go forward to the next chapter. So let us see what market traders are doing at the moment. Well, first of all, Binance. This time I'm using the 30 minutes time frame. For CBD, I would recommend 30 minutes as the biggest time frame. Everything above of 30 minutes doesn't really make sense. So use as maximum. Usually I like to use the 5 minutes. But to zoom out, it makes more sense to use the 30 minutes, because it's very limited. If you zoom out in 5 minutes, you just have a few days, and with 30 minutes you can see even more. So we have here the aggregated, we have here the Bitcoins with Bitcoin collateral, and we have here futures with Bitcoin collateral and futures with stablecoin collateral. Both, of course, futures related to Bitcoin. So what we see here is that Binance, since mid of December, started to distribute all the time. Even the whole thing what's happening here, they are not buying. Instead, it looks like a dead cat bounce. So they pushed up the price to start to distribute again. I mean, we are talking about in almost 3 weeks, they distributed market traders. I mean, that's crazy. But they distributed almost 30,000 Bitcoins. That's really crazy. The aggregated one looks similar, but they started to stabilize everything here and even started to bounce here, to lift up a little bit. Even they look like they have started to distribute as well, but as you can see, it looks a little bit different. While Bitcoin's futures with Bitcoin collaterals, once again indicating buying more longs than shorts, market traders, and even stablecoin Bitcoins here as well. So futures with stablecoins as well. So the spot looks, at least on Binance, absolutely different. Just let us take the 5 minutes view and we can see what they did today. It looks like a little bit so, hey, thank you very much. You gave me what I needed, a higher price, so let me distribute now. And even here the aggregated is declining. Let us check the other exchanges. Bitfinex. What is Bitfinex doing? Well, Bitfinex at the moment, not doing anything. So at the moment, the only thing I can see that's really bullish is what futures are doing. But even Bitfinex distributing, lifted up a little bit, and right now it looks like they want to distribute even more. So also nothing to see here. Kraken, okay, Kraken looks bullish. Let us zoom out. And we can see that Kraken bought almost 1,100 Bitcoins, more than sold by market traders since January 6th. That's what we can see at the moment. They are not distributing. Let us check what's happening to Bitget. Bitget, for example, they distributed all the time, and then they started on January 3rd to lift up. Nothing big. We are talking about 500 Bitcoins more purchased than sold. Then Coinbase. Well, Coinbase usually very bullish, but you remember I have said, oh, that's strange that these guys are distributing. But as you see, they distributed all the time and bounced here and started to lift up. Also here we are not talking about huge volume, but big enough. So Coinbase absolutely pushing the price up, and that matches very well to all these USDC minted by Coinbase. So it makes absolutely sense what we can see here. At the same time, yeah, it doesn't, I mean, it looks a little bit, if we check that, we can see some patterns. For example, that matches very well to the aggregated, that matches very well to the aggregated. The only thing is they started to distribute because Binance is distributing, Coinbase maintaining, so not doing anything at the moment. If we go forward, Bitstamp. What is Bitstamp doing? Well, usually Bitstamp is only up. That's the most moonish exchange I have seen. So they are just up, while you can see Bitstamp absorbing what the aggregated is giving them. If we check, for example, Gimini looks really similar to Kraken. That's also very interesting. Sometimes you see some patterns where you say, huh. So also here you can see, and Bitfinex usually is using all of them, Gimini, Kraken, Huobi, and so on and so forth. While Bitfinex doesn't look that bullish, but Kraken and Gimini looks very bullish at the moment. I mean, we are not talking about huge. Since mid of December, they purchased 800 Bitcoins more than they sold. That's the only thing. Now let us check the entities. First of all, retailers pushing up a little bit, but nothing, absolutely nothing big at all. These guys here pushing up. Retailers, it seems, jumped in. Oh, sorry guys, my dog, my alarm system. So we can see retailers pushed up. If we take a look here as well, these guys here with wallets 10 to 100 Bitcoins lifted up as well, but nothing big. These guys here maintaining at the moment. Usually they like to buy the dip, and as soon as we reach a certain price level, they start to unload. And the market maker, yeah, as you know, some accounts shifted to the market maker entity. That's why the balances lifted up, but they are reducing. Once again, they are reducing. They are not accumulating at all. Absolutely not. And for me, I mean, it seems some people think, you know, I'm a perma bear, and I really don't care what they think. I don't give a peanut for that. But you know, I was extremely bullish in 2020. I was extremely bullish even in 2021, at least before we started to nuke in April. And I have liquidated all my bags. I wasn't bullish end of 2021. I wasn't even bullish in July 2021 when FTX pushed up the price. In 2022, I wasn't bullish at all. They trapped me once with a relatively big position, 24k, you remember, with a long at 30k. I thought, that looks like it could be the bottom, and they liquidated me. Well deserved, to be honest. But however, I was really pissed. So when people make some comments indicating I'm a perma bear, I don't care, because I did my homework. I know who is driving in the market, and the market is not driven by you. It's not driven by me. It's driven by those here. And I have said so many times, when I see that this guy starts to accumulate, I wouldn't care about everything else, because then I'm ready to jump in, and even big. But as long as I see that these guys are just reducing their balances while the price is going up, I'm not going to jump in. I wouldn't care. Absolutely not. For me, these guys are key. And I mean, maybe you have a different approach, and that's absolutely fine. But my approach is unique. This one, well, weights ratio, flow activity, and this one. That's why I'm always checking what market makers are doing. Big guys, so related to centralized exchanges, lifting up more their balances. They are receiving bitcoins. That's what we can see, and it matches to the weights ratio and flow activity. But we can also see, let me refresh, the fund flow activity. And if we check the fund flow activity related to the market maker, it's very flat. So the last time 1000 bitcoins here, before we had this little pump and dump, in my opinion, that was a quick operation where they let the price go up to dump, or maybe I'm wrong, and because they were accumulating, they sent a lot of different, it looks like they started to distribute. I'm not sure if they are accumulating all these bullish price action and waiting to dump afterwards, or if they are just distributing. Because every time when we did a leg up, we retraced. A leg up, we retraced. A leg up, we retraced. That's usually indicating that someone big is selling afterwards. So it wouldn't surprise me if these guys are the main, to tell you, the main distributor here. But, the next leg up, we didn't distribute. And that matches very well because the market maker didn't send any fund flow. So is he waiting for something? I really don't know. We will see. However, that's what we can see here. And the last big one was 2000 bitcoins, and that was January 3rd, 6 days ago. I mean, yesterday it was 1000 bitcoins. Sounds tiny, because 1000 bitcoins, that's not big. But these guys sent just 1000 bitcoins, for example, to centralized exchanges, while they are mainly using, for example, OTC. And that's it. Bitcoin balances on centralized exchanges lifting up while the price is lifting up. So also nothing big happening here while the volume maintains relatively low. If we check what we have seen here, of course, it's not the same, but it's absolutely different. I mean, yeah, and even before we had much more volume. We are talking about December. We are talking about end of November, mid of November. I don't know. Usually I would say that's a poor rally, and poor quality rally are usually part of fake rallies and usually also from the redistribution phase by Wyckoff. But as mentioned several times, sometimes you need to be very diplomatic, so I say we will see. Market activity declining more and more and more. That's nothing new. Miners getting more bitcoins to reserves, to their reserves. Also very interesting. They bounced here, and since then it's they are pushing up, so indicating they are mining more. Interesting as well was the activity. We have centralized exchange activity and then the network activity. Usually when you see, for example, a peak in centralized exchange activity while without a correlation to the network activity, you know, okay, that's pure centralized exchanges operations, and the opposite, then you know that is mainly involved by some OTCs. And yeah, it was wondering me a little bit because centralized exchanges once again triggered all thing. I mean, we are talking about that here, we are even talking about that here, and every time we reached a peak, OTCs, for example here, active. Afterwards we retrace here as well. I mean, if we check that, they started to lift up, declined a little bit, even more, and that's what the price did. So right now declining, even if it's lifting up, and we will see what's going to happen next. We received here some bigger activity related to Coinbase. Coinbase, as you see, a lot of green, that's Coinbase. Coinbase and Brown is FTX. Ha. I thought FTX is out of order. Why are we receiving some fund flows related to FTX? Okay, that's crazy. I need to ask CryptoQuant about that. That's really crazy. Yeah, we are receiving activity related to FTX. Fund flow activity. So they are sending bitcoins. Okay. However, that's it from this part. 15 minutes. Oh my god. So let us see what Coinbase is doing. Well, first of all, they removed the wall at 16.5, removed liquidity at 16.5. Okay, that is 16.45 and then 16.5. And everything else, I'm not sure if that's a wall at 17.2. Really, absolutely not. The next bigger limitation to the upside, 19k. So they absorb and even 21k. Yeah, 22, 23. Yeah, I guess a million. If we go far away, we will find some limitations at 1 million. Interesting also that they are introducing liquidity to 15.6 to 15k. And even removing a little liquidity at 39 and lower, of course, but adding more between 15.5 and 15. That's really interesting. Really interesting. But you can see all the bars, green, 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 green. Let us check how the Binance bars looks like, but because I don't think all these are green, indicating that it seems that clock just maybe is trying to push up the price. We'll see. Let us surprise a little bit. There a bit. Yeah, just one too long here at 16.8 and a little bit below, but removed a lot. Algo trading crap saying here, and shorts waiting at 18.9 and 19. They removed here some walls, for example at 17.5. Bitstamp. On Bitstamp, they also removed the wall at 17.5. Wow, I don't know why, but okay. Instead, we have one at 18K, and that's it. To the downside, the next bigger one, 15K. Binance Spot. You remember what I said? Green, 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 green. It's not the case on Binance. Even if it's, I mean, we are talking here, we had a volume delta here of 3 Bitcoins. that's just a joke. Only here 127 Bitcoins. That's fine. Or here three Bitcoins. While at the same time, 160 Bitcoins less, minus 80 minus 70 minus 400 minus 760 minus. So sell pressure coming in, a big sell pressure, but of course it's only Binance. On Binance you can see we have a lot of different levels waiting with bigger volume at 18K, at 17.8, at the moment 77, it's new, waiting here, for example, reinforced at 17.4, 17.5, a bunch of liquidity waiting there, otherwise at 17K and lower, at 16.9, they introduce more liquidity at 16.6, it's 16.6 even more, removed a wall here at 16.3, removing some liquidity to the downside as you can see even here, but adding at 15K once again, even at 14.8, something I don't get that. If they are expecting to go more up. Because I have learned that liquidity on the sideway is dead liquidity. It's just dead capital. You are not making any money with that. So Bitfinex, what is Bitfinex doing? Nothing. They are still waiting at 15.8. That's it. Otherwise a lot. I mean, on Bitfinex, unfortunately, we need to remove a lot the volume. Otherwise we can't see anything. They are waiting at 17.8. We are, well, I mean, even 19.5 and so on and so forth. At least if you check Bitfinex, you can see that the buy orders are peanuts, but a lot of sell orders back to 26 and even more. But it's really the only exchange I have seen that they have much more sell orders than buy orders. OKEX spot, nothing. Let us maybe reduce here as well. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Even here it doesn't look like on Coinbase. Kraken, what is happening on Kraken? On Kraken, next limitations 18K, otherwise nothing. They reduced here liquidity between 15.5 and 15. Oh, sorry. Bybit. What is Bybit doing? Nothing. What is BitMEX doing? Nothing. The next limitation would be at 14K, but that's it. I mean, we have here at 16K, we have here at 15.6, and even here at 14K, new buy orders on BitMEX. Binance futures, also very interesting. They I mean, they triggered every single short order we have there. Well, not really. We still have some. We have some at 17.6. We have some at 17.5. We have some at 17.4. But they triggered at 17.3. They triggered the wall at, what is that? Oh, our puppy is just yelling, crying. 17.3. The same at 17.2, the same at 17.1, the same at 17K. So all short orders. All these were short orders, while one too long at 17K, and next would be at 16.8 and 16.6 and 16.5. Removed long orders at 16K. Yeah. So that's what we can see. I don't know why they are so bearish and just triggering all these short orders. I guess they will liquidate all of them. So Bitfinex derivatives. Oh. Well, that's Bitfinex. No, it's not. That looks like a data arrow. Yeah. Let us go and check Kraken. On Kraken, wow, what is that? Okay, nothing special. They started to short at 17.3, sorry, at 17.3. But we don't see any kind of wall. We had one at 17.4, but not sure if they triggered this one. OKEX futures, nothing. On OKEX, almost nothing. Well, it's not really, yeah, but nothing. We had here a wall at 17K triggered. Wow, what is now happening here? Hello? OKEX swap, and last but not least, on OKEX swap, nothing happening. And Bybit BTC USDT, not only USD, and we have also here, it seems, a limitation at 17.4. And that's it. Let us talk about my personal conclusion. So what we see, really interesting, Bitcoin maintaining while SPI retraced already, but Bitcoin holding, they don't care that much. Also very interesting what they are doing. However, we were in this box since a while. Now we had the breakout, and of course we didn't retest. You remember what I said so many times? What happens when you don't have a retest? You go up, you have a breakout, you don't care about the retest, the price always goes back. Always. I mean, really, almost 99.9% of all cases, the price should go down once again. Because the retest is a solid confirmation that this breakout is valid. It's not happening. They just pushed up without, I mean, they maintained here 2 days, and then we had an accelerated breakout. And usually when you have that, even if you maintain, you try, have a breakout, then you break out, you go down, you fade to break out to the downside, and then you push up very hard. Not happening here. Maybe it happens, means we should go back to 17K from here, but that's not happening. In my opinion, I'm very consequent in that case. For me, that's just a fake rally. It's just poor crap what they are doing. Once again, front running the CPI of Thursday, creating FOMO. Right now, sell pressure is coming in, and we will see how far they will maintain this game. But yeah, I mean, as mentioned just few analysis ago, our generation never have seen such a global economy and the current situation. It's not just inflation. It's much more than that. The global power is shifting at the moment. We had one country like the USA. It was for many Western countries, also for Germany, a big idol, indicating that's how democracy should look like. However, but everything changed with the Ukraine-Russia war and the conflict on diplomatic stage between China and USA, the Taiwan issue, and so on and so forth, and the BRICS. So also markets will change, and that's just a matter of time. So everything, it's really difficult. I have never, I was never expecting such a reaction by the markets. A very childish, or maybe it's not, maybe it's just desperation, I really don't know. But taking into account how the global economy is looking like, what the Fed and the central bankers are saying, like, forget pivot, forget the printer for a long time. We don't know how long it takes, but it will take long. And they are doing like, I don't care. I don't care. Everything is fine. I will push up the markets for what? Just because you still have a big portfolio and you need to unload them. But, well, I mean, we need to see what's going to happen next, to be honest. If they want to show us that the whole thing is valid and solid, the price has to go back to 17K to retest, to fail, and then to go up. But if not, and it doesn't look like they want to let the price go down back to 17K yet, at least until Thursday, and then afterwards we will see. To be honest, I'm done here. I'm absolutely done, because it's a matter of question that the whole thing will implode. The whole thing is walking on thin ice, on absolutely thin ice. So doesn't mean you can't long, or doesn't mean that Inspo is saying, oh my god, don't long, because I'm not a financial advisor. That's not what I'm providing. I'm not saying you go long because everything is bullish, or go short. I just show you the view. I'm just showing without any kind of BS. I'm just telling you, hey, Gamma World 17.5. So it looks solid that we should go to 75. But 75 looks like a big resistance with a GAX that's on an extreme, a very high extreme, indicating we will go down. We can see weights ratio indicating, and I mean, I love crypto not only because the on-chain, because on-chain is a unique tool you don't have in other markets. It's so awesome to see what market actors are doing. And yeah, we had Huobi, Binance, and Binance, Huobi, and FTX, and that crashed a little bit our on-chain tools because we couldn't really see the net flow. Are they really sending that much of Bitcoins, more than taking out? That's a big problem. That's why I didn't use anymore a lot the balances on centralized exchanges, because they are foggy. We don't really know if that's really the truth or it's not. And yeah, so that's something we need to consider it, and just trade based on what I'm providing, if you want, of course, and at the same time using any kind of different tools like TA, for example. If you are good in TA, I'm not. And if you say, no, yeah, maybe they just want to sell the way up, but it doesn't look really bearish, then go for it. I'm not a professional trader. I wasn't. Just an economist that knows geopolitics, fundamentals, monetary policy, and I love crypto. That's the only thing. So you shouldn't expect any kind of advice by me, because I'm not going to do it. As you know, they wrecked me at $24,000 long just when Bitcoin was at 30K last year. So in that moment, I was extremely convinced at least we will go up first. And we didn't. They liquidate me. So never follow my personal conclusion. The personal conclusion is just another idea. It's a contrast maybe to yours. And sometimes it's really useful. That's why I'm providing it, just to make it clear. Okay? So, however, if they want to convince Inspo that this is a solid, embedded breakout and we will go up, I need a clean retest of 17K and then up. Then I will even go long, if it looks like. At the moment, it doesn't look. I'm still waiting that market makers accumulating. I'm still waiting a lot of things. I'm still waiting that the weights ratio starts to dump, for example, like it did after end of 2020, after we reached at that time the new all-time high. That's what I'm waiting for. It's not happening. So while the on-chain data is looking like it is, market maker not accumulating, and so on and so forth, I will miss the opportunity. Doesn't mean you need to miss the opportunity. By Inspo is going to miss it, because for me the ratio between opportunity and risk is in favor of risk, and that's not my game. Big love. This time it was a really long, but I'm so sorry, it wasn't planned. A really long analysis. Big love. See you tomorrow. Trade carefully. Bye bye. Your Inspo.